So with that in mind, I would like to introduce my friend, mentor, and confidant. Her story is very impressive, and I want to share a story. A year and a half ago, I had gone to have a lunch with her, and we were having Mexican food. And during the conversation, I was saying, I need representation. And she stopped and she said, "Girl, don't worry. I will represent you, the WIC, and the entire community. I will represent you." And that statement was so empowering, a leader in a corporate company coming and giving that confidence. And that is Gina Jorgensen. And she's going to take the stage. So what I would like all of you to do is light up the chat by welcoming her, because she's stellar executive and a friend. But a little bit about Gina. Gina began her career starting in nonprofit and healthcare, and then joined Microsoft right out of the Foster School of Business from the University of Washington to work in embedded and accessible technology. She's currently working for Google as a senior marketing leader responsible for driving awareness and adoption of Google Cloud. Prior to that, Gina spent 19 years at Microsoft in various engineering, developer, marketing, and sales roles. And she started 16 years ago and worked in Azure Business since the inception in 2010, focused on partners, startups, go-to-market, and online distribution strategy of the enterprise cloud solution. She originated and grew leading industry programs like Microsoft ISV wholesale program. There was a Microsoft GTM services and marketplace rewards. On the personal front, Gina lives in Seattle with her 3 boys. They're so cute and they're amazing, and they love to surf and ski. And she's also very, very active in the Washington State foster care system as a foster parent and a child advocate. With that, Gina, we welcome you to the Lunch and Learn series, and thank you for being here. You have been a phenomenal advocate for women in cloud. So please come on stage.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm going to say that's a good yes. Awesome. Thanks for everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for having me. And Shai, your introductions are always so wonderfully warm and thoughtful and personal, and I really appreciate that. You have been an inspiration to this entire community and extensive communities around it. So I appreciate all that you do for not just this community, but everybody. You are a force to be reckoned with. I admire you very much. So thank you. To everyone here joining us, thanks for taking the time out of your day. I know some are taking this day to really invest in their community and learn. And we really appreciate you taking a few moments of today to actually spend that with us on the Google side. So I've got a number of folks here from our Googler team, and we couldn't be any more excited to be here. I thought I'd start by just, before we get into the panel, just telling you a little bit about Google. I think everyone thinks of Google as a big search engine, and it is very much true. But the thing that Google really focuses itself on and is core to its brand is being helpful and of service to others, and really making sure its information is universally accessible and useful to its users. Different to Microsoft and different to an Amazon, it is primarily a consumer-based company in the sense that the vast majority of their business is consumer. Amazon is too, except for when I think about sort of Amazon Web Services, it's all cloud-based, and that's their primary business. Microsoft is a very cloud-centric company. Google is too, across its consumer and commercial businesses. And the folks you have here all represent us on the commercial cloud side on the Google Cloud Platform. So I wanted to just give you an understanding of that. If you, Raisa, if you flip to the next slide, please. This is basically what Google represents. And I did a crude drawing of who's here to represent. We're really, like I said, representing that Google Cloud business today. But there's a number of businesses that Google represents, especially on the consumer side. And as I have been there just about 6 months now, really just incredible to see the vast reach and depth of the Alphabet business across Google. It's just astonishing how they have grown from this small startup essentially to a massive organization that reaches people all over the world. So if we flip to the next slide, there are essentially 9 businesses at the company with over 1 billion users each. And so the reach and expansion of Google is across all of its businesses phenomenal. It is the world's largest database of understanding user intent, what people are searching for, what they're looking for. Every year, Google does this amazing showcase of looking at the year in review and talks about what things were most searched for, and they really touch on the emotional aspect of its users, both on the business side and consumer side, and I really respect and love that about the organization. A lot of you are here today to network and either look for opportunities at Google or figure out how to partner with Google. And if we flip to the next slide, one of the things that's important to understand is how Google's organized first. Just at its core, the core basics across all of its businesses. There's a sales organization. It's very traditional sales in what you think of, right? There's people out selling our services either through partners or direct to consumers and commercial users. Large engineering teams all over the world. A pretty significant marketing muscle. Google is known for being a great viral marketer, and we've gotten a lot of business from really the virality of consumers. And it's a really important function. When you think about how you benefit so much from viral marketing, people think, well, that's not really marketing. What Google does in marketing so exceptionally well is it really touches at the heart and again, the emotion of every user of its services, regardless of what that server is using. The thing that I love, that I've really come to understand about Google culture as I've been there a short time, is that the user and the customer is at the core and center of everything we do. Everything stops and starts there. So there's never a debate about opinion on how something should get done. You don't get to debate that when the customer is telling you, and you're always starting with, what do they need? How do I be of service to them? And that's what I love, is everyone rallies around that common cry for how do we support our users the best. And then there's an organization around partnerships of all sizes, all scopes, from on the commercial side, ISVs and global systems integrators and regional systems integrators and resellers, all the way through to partnerships with content creators and partnerships, obviously, in the advertising space. And so that partnerships is a very core to Google in the way that they go to business. Most people think that they're only a direct company, which they go direct to the user. They do that in many ways, Google does, but they also rely on an impressively vast network of partners for both its consumer and commercial businesses. So as we're talking to you guys about cloud and Google Cloud today, if we go to the next slide, a lot of folks here belong to startups, starting their own businesses, growing their businesses. The best way to start thinking about that is to go to something called Google Cloud Partner Advantage. And I put the link in here below for folks. That's the place to get started, and where it can walk you through whatever type of partner you are or whatever you want to do with Google Cloud. That's the best place to start. If you're in the consumer space and you want to talk more about that, you can ping me offline and we can get you connected in the right space. But if most of folks we understand here are focused on cloud and the commercial space. And so that's really the way in which you start your partnership.